Welcome back to our biomass class, where we're delving deeper into the fascinating world of conversion of biomass resources into heat and power. This video was made with the support of Energy. A socioeconomic impact assessment is a structured way of showing a proposal's advantages and disadvantages for society as a whole and for various parties. A socioeconomic impact assessment weighs the socioeconomic cost against the socioeconomic benefit. As far as possible, the analysis includes the consequences for all participants in society and all kinds of impacts, for example, social impacts, economic impacts, and environmental impacts. Social impacts are linked to the social dimension of sustainability. For example, those related with the quality of life like health, housing, education, employment, safety, access to services, or those related to democracy and governance. Economic impacts can be, for example, creation of new economic activities, increase of incomes in the rural area, creation of jobs. You can do the assessment of environmental impacts in a separate way under a scientific point of view. However, if these impacts affect the society, it is better to include them in this analysis. Bioenergy is both an engine of development and a source of problems. Therefore, it is time to make an analysis. We will do it in 3 steps. Step 1. Define the scope of your assessment. For a biomass project, it could be interesting to analyze the whole supply chain. However, resources are limited. As a result, prioritization is key. Select the parts of the supply chain that your study will focus on. Step 2. Identify the business activities. The activities whose effects are to be analyzed and measured. Activity indicators are usually qualitative and usually are related with product or service sales. Step 3. Transform the business activities into a results chain. The results chain may include outputs, outcomes, and impacts. Outputs are the results of the activity. Common output indicators include volumes sold and numbers of people reached. Outcomes are changes in the lives of the target population. Common outcome indicators include numbers and percentages of people adopting certain behaviors, obtaining certain opportunities, and having access to certain products and services. Impacts are goal-level changes in the lives of the target population and even future generations. Common impact indicators include changes in educational attainment, health status, and income level. There are a number of challenges involved in measuring impact metrics. For example, the impact can take a long time to materialize. The closer one gets to the end of the results chain, the more external variables come into play. There is a lack of baseline data to compare. As a result, many organizations choose to measure outcomes and even outputs as proxies for impact. What's next? It is up to you to choose the indicators to be analyzed in the supply chain of a biomass facility. You can consider, for example, the effects on the development of the rural economy, the creation of new jobs or, eventually, the destruction of jobs, the generation of incomes, changes in suppliers' productivity, municipal taxes and other taxes for new economic activities, changes in the standard of living of the population, development of infrastructures that influence the population and the economy, changes in the traffic on the road network, modifications of traditional land use and culture, decreased dependence on energy imports. Let's see a simple example. The European project Logistics for Energy Crops Biomass has conducted a modeling analysis of the environmental, economic, and social impacts of a biomass supply chain in France based on the cultivation of miscanthus. Results show a total production of goods and services of €6.91 million along the different sectors would be generated. 52 new jobs would be created. €1 of biomass available to the final user would generate €1.19 in the global economy, meaning that the multiplier effect would be 2.19. Wrapping up. For your biomass project, you need to show the advantages and disadvantages for society. The socioeconomic impact assessment will allow you to do it in a structured way. Start defining the scope of your assessment. Identify the business activities. And finally, assess outputs, outcomes, and impacts.